something remarkable has been happening with electric vehicles right under your nose, and that is this. It seems like 5 minutes ago you had to pay 60 grand if you wanted an electric vehicle of any kind. The only thing cheaper than that was an electric scooter or a sex toy. And now, all of a sudden, we have this, the BYD Atto 2, which is the cheapest EV SUV that money can buy, starting at $31,990. And if that sounds incredible, in a few minutes they're going to launch an Atto 1, which is about 24 grand. That really is second-hand car money. But for that price, how much can you expect? Well, let's go and find out. So I started the day in the premium version and went for quite a long drive. That one's $35,990 and obviously is the top spec one. But now I'm in the $31,990 base model. Both of them claiming to be the most affordable EV SUV option. And as I said earlier, the price is absolutely bonkers. And you wouldn't expect things to feel as nice and solid as they do in this car. You shut the door, it feels quite nice. There's plenty of headroom. Even the roof surface isn't that bad. The seat in this one is actually arguably more comfortable than in the premium expensive version. What is most remarkable though is how well it rides. I was not expecting great things from a car under $40,000 from the Great Hall of China, but it's pretty good. I pushed it pretty hard around some corners, and eventually there is some understeer, but nowhere near the level of shonkiness you'd expect. And to the point where any normal person would push a car like this, absolutely fine. Didn't feel dangerous, didn't feel out of control, didn't roll over, the roll center wasn't too bad. It feels like it's been fettled pretty well. And if I think about the earlier BYDs I drove when they first arrived in the country, it's quite an incredible gradient of improvement that they've achieved. In terms of acceleration, around town, 40, 60, 80, it's quite good. Out on the freeway above 110, it's gradual. You're kind of running out of puff there. They say you'll get 340 Ks out of a charge. With the driving we did today, which is largely on freeways, we would have got about 280, I'd say, between 250 and 280. Realistically, you'd have to be driving in ideal conditions to get more than 300 Ks. But again, this is pretty much a city car. There's a bit of coarse chip sound from the tyres. These tyres are fairly cheap. There's smaller wheels on this car compared to the premium. Not as great. It's not as plush. But then push up to $35,990 for the premium. Why not? It's still a bit of a bargain. The other thing is the steering. The steering has two settings, both of which feel exactly the same. There's a sport and a comfort, or a sport and a normal. I can't see any difference between the two. The whole thing does feel a bit light. I mean, the steering wheel itself isn't entirely awful, but it has a kind of slight video game arcade car feel to it. I mean, I don't expect sporty response from my steering in a bargain basement Chinese EV SUV, but that's the one thing that I would say could be improved. The other thing I didn't like, as is often the case, is the safety systems. If you put the indicator on to change lanes and it does a quick flick, by the time you've changed lanes, it's already giving the emergency beeps to say, oh, look out, you crossed a line. Another occasion I was crossing an unbroken line and it did that thing where it just tried to tug the steering wheel out of my hands and pull me off the road. And again, at the prices we're talking, this is the kind of car that people are going to buy for their kids. The other market they're aiming at is people in their 70s who want a second car. Many is the time old people have said to me, I really want to buy another car. I want that next car to be an EV, but they're too expensive. 60 grand, 50 grand, 40 grand, still too expensive. Suddenly we're around 30, 35. That starts to look pretty appealing. And for that little buzzer at the shops, the Atto 1 that's about to come out at 24-ish, 26, that's starting to look like a real bargain. So there you have it, the BYD Atto 2, a bargain that's not in the basement. I'm not saying this car is going to set the world on fire, but you do have to kind of use an illogical equation when looking at something like this. Dividing how good it is by the price and then taking away the number of spanners in a Sidchrome toolkit. I'm going to go and do the maths now, and if you want to see the final score, read the full review at EV Central.